Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to warp a track in Ableton. So to warp a track, the first thing you need to do is find the tempo of the track that you're going to warp. In this case, I'm warping a song that I mastered for my client Brendan Jonak. It's a super dope remix that he's doing for J Sounds. It'll be out soon. So once you have the tempo, you need to then change your project tempo to match that. You can use Recordbox to find the tempo of the track, but I just use mixed in key. Once you have the tempo, you set the project tempo to 140, and then you can drag that track onto an empty channel and drop it in. Now by default my auto warp is disabled, only because I like to do it myself. If you do find that you have all warp markers on this track when you drop it in, just need to turn it off and then turn it on again, and it should fix itself. But in this case, let's just say you have the same setting as me where you've disabled it. What I want to do is zoom into the first beat, and you can see that there's a moment of silence before the audio starts, and just before it starts is where I want to split the clip. So select that area, Command E to split it, delete that silence section off, and then click and drag that onto a full number, and then I can hit warp. So once that's warp, once I've enabled warp, you can see there's a marker at the beginning, and this power warp method will use 4 warp markers to get this done. So after I've done the first marker, I want to put a marker at the end of the track. The end of the track's always a lot easier for me to find because it's generally just a kick, snare, outro. So if we listen to the music, you can hear it. And in this situation, the snare is real consistent, only because of the genre, but in most cases you can find the kick can be consistent as well, but in this situation the snare is pretty obvious. There it is right there. So if I zoom right in on that snare, it's pretty much on point. It's not too bad. You can see there's a digit there and there's the snare. The separation between it is pretty obvious. But if I want to get a bit OCD, I can just put a marker there and then snap it in. I may have gotten lucky with that situation where the snare was real close. And now I would say maybe go from the drop, so the drop might be so 33 is where the drop is. And the reason why I'm choosing 33 is because it's pretty obvious that that's where the first downbeat is. You can see that's the downbeat, so it's easier to find in that situation. So you can see there's the dynamics of the audio changes from those squiggly lines to that nice thick squiggly line, which is the kick. So if I zoom in a bit more, let's say I put it roughly around, I want to meet it halfway somewhere, so let's go here and then click and drag that to the full digit. And now if I enable the metronome and play it a bit further before the drop,
you make the fam, you the enemy, so I'm bringing on.
That's pretty good. Now I'll put one more marker. I'm going to do it in a real obvious section. You can see the difference between loudness right there and here. So if I zoom in onto 57, I can tidy that up a bit as well. I think that's a better one. And that's it.
I've been at war, getting my peace. I've been outside, felt that heat.